Tudor United Sports Car Championship, first time ever at Sebring. 64 cars starting the race. Yeah, that's cool. Those of you who may or may not know, yesterday's qualifying was once again ultra close. The two Corvettes were separated by 2/1000ths of a second. I'm not sure how much distance that is over one lap, but it's probably about that much. And they're 2/10ths off. About 2/10ths separates the first 6 cars, which is again once super close. And it's going to be an interesting race. One of the changes that happened since Daytona is the fuel capacity. They have reduced the fuel capacity from Ford to Corvette. Now, everybody got a fuel capacity reduction, but the Corvette's gone from 110 liters to 94. Why? Don't know. No clue. But what it does is reduces the number of laps you can do in a tank of fuel to make it less than an hour. So it's about 5 or 6 laps. So we're looking at 30, 31, maybe 32 laps on a tank of fuel, and now it's 25 or 26. So do the math. That's it's less than an hour. What does that mean if the race goes green, which it likely won't? But you have to be prepared for that. It's 2 additional pit stops and 2 additional sets of those fine Michelin tires. So strategy is going to play a part, and our guys are some of the best when it comes to strategy, and again, you know, it does make it tough when you're looking at you know, shorter fuel windows, and with I would expect there to be a number of cautions. Anything like practice, I don't think a single practice session went without at least one red flag. So, but yeah, no, it's going to be as always in the GT Le Mans class, super competitive. You know, no mistakes, and yeah, depending on how the cautions fly, you know, the guys that can make the right calls at the right time in terms of track position, either taking fuel only. Yeah, it's going to be neat to watch. So. But yeah, hopefully there's no lengthy cautions. Caffeine break. And please, at any time you got a question racing related, just stick your hand up. I'm happy to answer. I had an interesting question yesterday. Somebody asked me, do you miss the driving? And you know, it's something I hadn't been asked in a while. And I thought about it, and I said, damn right. Yes, I do. But one of the things that you do as you get older, and there's a few of us in this room, they're in the 50-plus club. A belated happy birthday, by the way, Taj. We're the same age.
Was yesterday.
Only by a couple days. Yeah, you know, as you get older, the mortality thing starts to kick in, and yes, you miss it, but you do begin to realize and understand that you know, it's not unlike, you know, playing football or playing hockey. You know, look, your age can be a limitation, and you get comfortable with the fact that I just can't quite do what I once did, and but doesn't mean you don't miss it. So, but I'm comfortable with it. How's that? The other side of it, you know, for our guys, with the intensity of the competition, and these guys have got to be well rested, well prepared, because ultimately. As competitive as it is, you just can't make any mistakes. And yeah, are you going to make some? Yes, but you have to minimize it. And it's traffic is going to be a huge part. And the other interesting thing about the multiple classes, there's not a lot of separation in terms of lap time, which means that the power is fairly close. So when you look at the lap time of the prototypes, it wasn't too long ago that with the GT1 car, we weren't that far off of that. I think the pole of the prototypes was a 151 something. And with the GT1 cars in, I'm going to guess it's a 06, 07, we were doing 153s. So that's, which is fast. But there was also a big separation between the prototypes and GT1 where there isn't now. You see the lap times between prototype, GT Le Mans, PC, and GT Daytona. They're all fairly close, and which makes for more difficulties passing, which means lots of action. The other one that's going to be interesting here is, in the past, Michelin has been the dominant tire, and with Continental being more of a spec tire for prototype, the GT Daytona, so the majority of the cars are on the Continental tire. So a bit of the unknown here is compatibility and how the chassis will change with the predominant rubber being put down that's not Michelin. How will the car handle? So that's a bit of an unknown, because this tends to be the track changes a lot as the rubber gets down. So interesting stuff, sort of, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on!
Yeah!
Okay, we have a question.
What top speed on the back this can reach without any traffic?
Yeah, top speed, I think they're the fastest would be into 17 here. What did I see? 168? Something like 166, 168? Yeah.
Hey, Ron?
Yeah.
We're here.
Yes, sir.
I hear that we've had coolant issues in the past at Daytona. Have they been resolved from what I hear? How is it behaving here?
Yeah, so far, no, the question was about the cooling issue they had at Daytona, and that was a kind of a one-off deal, and they have had no issues, touch wood. No issues here so far, yeah. Yeah.
As the specs are right now in GT Le Mans, do you feel like any car's got an advantage over the other?
Is there any advantage one over the other? I think here at Sebring, I think we with Corvette are probably the better handling of all the cars. I mean, it's historically stop better, corner better, but the rules have dictated the power. So, which didn't stop them winning the championship last year with the heaviest by rules and least amount of power last year. So, but yeah, I think through a tank of fuel, the quality of the handling, and again, it's part of what it's part of the Corvette makeup. It's a great road car first, especially this 7th generation. Spent some time driving at the school last week, which I didn't get a chance to before. But yeah, no, and one of the neat things that you see, having been part of it through now 2 generations of models, is the interaction between production and racing has never been closer, never been better, and it is just so cool to see. And that we as Corvette enthusiasts should be incredibly proud of that and excited about it. And yeah, thank you to the guys in the back of the room, Taj and company. It's the way it should be, and yeah, just especially with this 7th generation and the appearance of the race car, side by side with the production car, particularly the new Z06. It's hard to tell them apart, and that's just so cool as an enthusiast and as a fan. So Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What's the latest changes at Mosport? What's the future look like in Mosport?
Question about Mosport Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Thanks for asking.
Commercial?
There's an awful lot of snow. We're not doing anything. Like, it's bad. Yeah, there's somebody. You know, we might be as bad as this. Yes, I'm hoping that we won't be having any snowmobile races in June. Boy, we have had a nasty winter. Yeah, we typically our first track rental is mid-April, and based on the snow we got last week and what was there, we're going to be in tough to open on time. So hopefully by the time the Tudor Championship event gets there in July, we'll be snow-free. Everything white will be beach sand somewhere. Yeah. The changes we made since last year, biggest thing is the entranceway has been modified again, so we've got much better traffic flow. What else have we done? The upper paddock used to be tiered, and it is now single level, which created 30% more space. And again, this is primarily to accommodate, and this was the lower paddock we did the year before, just to add more paddock space with more competitors, in particular with the new IMSA. We've got Continental Tire Series, 60 cars. We've got probably 40 odd coming for the Tudor Championship race. So before we did anything with the upper paddock, it was trying to understand when we had our first the Chevy Silverado 250. We had the Camping World Truck Series there last year, and it's understanding how they would want to operate at our track. And so we created, based on how it went the first time, we were able to look at, okay, we can move them to the upper paddock, here's how we'll do it. And the restaurant will be also blown up. You've been there before. If it catches fire, it might take till 2015 to put out. So major grease fire. Anybody else from the track here? I get myself in trouble, wouldn't I? Good thing I own a piece. Yes.
Is there any chance of bringing a Rockefeller school down to the southeast?
Down where?
To the southeast.
Southeast?
Never say never. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about doing kind of a traveling roadshow with the school, but we'll see. Yeah, there might be another alternative to that, particularly with this with the interest level, the new generation, the 7th generation Corvette. But yeah, right now we're super busy out at Spring Mountain with the new cars. They're fabulous, and I mean, those of you who are thinking about buying one, and come to the school, whether it's Bondurant's or ours, if you get a chance, drive it, it'll sell you. I guarantee you. Come to ours, come to Bondurant's, doesn't matter. Get a chance to try the 7th generation Stingray, and it's awesome. You're gonna love it. Yes.
Those of us with new C7 convertibles, we're out of luck from the track.
You're gonna have to buy a second one. You gotta have a Stingray that all around town, and you get the Z51 package, and you're all set. I guess it's easier for me to say, isn't it? Yeah.
So far, of all the magazines you've read and everything is on the Stingray Z51. Can you give us any comments on the base car on the track, how that looks?
Haven't driven the base car. With the option package, it's the Z51 package is the one you want to have for the track. It's got, especially with the dry sump system. That's with the lateral capabilities the car has. You got to have that dry sump system, and it's the smart option for the track. I mean, it's meant to be a track car, and that's what you want. So, yeah.
Are you going to have a Z06 when it becomes available?
Are we going to have Z06s at the school? I sure hope so. First one to drive it will be. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it's still early, but yeah, we'll. My guess is very likely. Yes.
Can you talk about some of your experiences driving here at Sebring?
Experiences driving here at Sebring. Yeah. Yeah. This is the most physical of all the tracks. It's 3.7 and a bit. So 3.7 miles, 17 turns. You're super busy, constantly turning, and you've got multiple surface changes. It's bumpy. Some of the yesterday's lunch with the inductees into the Sebring Hall of Fame, they were talking about how it's a character track, and if we were to race on this configuration, if it was a new place, nobody'd do it. Too bumpy, not enough runoff area, but it's part of the history. Sebring. It's kind of like Formula One at Monaco. If you're going to decide to have a Formula One race at Monaco, they'd say, "Are you crazy? It won't work." But it's Monaco, different. So, but here, I think that there was a couple of breakthroughs for us. This was the last track that we had not won at back in the early days with the fifth generation. The last track that we to get a win at was here in Sebring, because this was a tough place to win. In terms of the cars and the pounding they take, mechanically, it's a great, even though it's a 12-hour race, the stuff that happens here is closer to the kind of things you have happen in a 24-hour race. If you can make it work in 12 here, chances are you're going to be good 24 someplace else, because it's just that tough on equipment. The bumps and the stopping, the constant turning, and then people in the way. There's been a few of those, but this is also a track that because of the heat, physically it was very difficult for years to do more than 2 stints. That took a lot out of you. So essentially, a couple hours in the car at this track was tough. The heat and the activity level compared to other places, you just don't get a chance to relax. And to put it in perspective, the load on your body, your heart rate is probably averaging in the 150s driving here. So think about when you're holding on a roller coaster, and then the G-force that gets pushed on your body. Double that. That's what the driver's doing. So you can be without being properly strapped in, without being fit. It's quite a violent ride, and you gotta be in shape. That air conditioning system, we had really no idea how well it could work, and I was able to triple stint here once, and it was incredible. At one point, we got a caution, and I was about a tank and a half into a run, and Danny Binks got on the radio and said, "Hey, we're going to pitch it. Can you stay in and do another?" and I didn't want to tell him that it was actually more comfortable temperature-wise in the car than it was standing outside. But I mean, the physical effort is difficult, but the heat can just add to the fatigue factor, because when you lose a lot of you sweat a lot, your brain gets too hot, your body temperature goes up, your ability to concentrate 100% goes down, and that's one of the great things about that system they developed. And I think this is 05 or 6, maybe 06. That just the limitation is the physical effort as opposed to the mental side of it. That you're able to stay that much more alert when you're not completely dehydrated, bagged, and overheated. So, but yeah, no, that was. I think our first win here was 02, so that was a real proud moment to get that one out of the way, because we won. We won a championship at that point. Had the Rolex 24 win at overall Daytona. At that point, had 2 Le Mans wins, but had yet to win at Sebring. So to get that first one, I think it was 03. Anyway, we got one, and then I think we won like 3 in a row. So cool stuff. Back when we were pioneering. Never thought I'd ever say I was a pioneer. Any other questions? Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yes. Finish your chewing.
Thank you. Any plans in the future of CMT to building crashes and activities of land? Any plans in the future of CTMP of building crash bays and activities of land?
Oh boy. Okay, for those Americans, Timmy's is Tim Hortons Donuts, eh? Tim Hortons Donuts and coffee.
Tim did.
Yeah, we got a franchisee here. I know there's a Tim Hortons outlet at the BB&T Center in Fort Lauderdale where they play hockey. Yeah. We'd love to have a Tim Hortons at CTMP. You can make that happen, Mark?
I'll work on it, Ron. My number is 6'5".
Nice. Yes, I think he's referring to the raffle ticket. It's $37.95 for the 3 days, sir. I think we'd love to cover some points there. Yes, those basically appreciate all that. Yeah.
One final question. Your entire racing career, what's the one moment that stands out for you above all the rest?
Boy, moment that stands out over all the rest.
Yeah, Daytona.
Well, there's a few, but I would say probably a lot of the, with the Corvette deal was having been part of it from its inception, and when we first started testing here, and initially couldn't get out of our own way, to being a dominant manufacturer, dominant winner. I think for sure in 2001 the Rolex 24, the overall win, and the special part of it being the Earnhardt connection, and then our first Le Mans win. It was just nasty conditions in June of 2001. We were talking about this the other day, where I think I did a total of I got to drive a lot in the rain. And I think I did a total of 3 laps on slicks. And that was it. Everything was rain tired, intermediates or full wets. And we were at one point 4th overall. The only 3 cars that were ahead of us were Audi prototypes. And got our first class win. And seeing Herb Fischel, who was then head of GM Racing, I mean, he had a smile from ear to ear. Because that was something he'd worked on for like 10 years to try to make happen, was to get Corvette Apple and win. So I think those 2 are probably the 2 highlights for sure. Yeah, proud moments to be part of. Yeah, we're just one little part. Any other questions before we raffle off my driving school of Mark? Yeah, go ahead.
Have your son started finding out where he gets your memory car yet?
Well, unless they start earning a bunch of money, might end up me being the one that gets to send it off to Bear Jackson. But no, yes, our oldest son is 20. He's actually driven, yes, briefly, which is a great disappointment to his mother because his mother has not. Which is not. I had nothing to do with that. She just hasn't driven. So Linda, I'm sure, will. But, no, it's going to be interesting to see where some of these older cars now that have limited that are limited editions, where they'll go in the future. And in 10 years, what will the like 2007 number one, what will it be worth? Hopefully, it's $1 million. But we have no plans to get rid of that one or the Hall of Fame edition anytime soon. So, any other questions? Yes, Michael.
Ready to do it?
Oh no, I thought you had a question. I guess that was a question. Yes, we are ready to do it. Okay. So what we have is on an annual basis certificate for a 3-day school, which is $37.95 retail value. That's $3,795 American dollars.
How much is that in Canadian?
$1 million. Yeah, I think it's we're down about 10 cents on the dollar. Yeah, the deal is what we've tried to do for years is provide an opportunity for not only Corvette owners but anybody interested in performance driving and taking their car to a track, provide them with some simple and basic skills to be able to take to the racetrack and be comfortable and have fun. And certainly with the 6th generation and now the 7th generation, being able to showcase the capabilities of the cars makes your track day that much easier. The deal is you want to have fun. You don't want to be intimidated, and that's what we try to do. We try to provide you with a skill set to be able to go to a track, understand basic approach, and also understand the car, particularly with what we're seeing with the 7th generation with some of the new driver aids, particularly the rev matching. It is indeed precision driving in terms of it's helping get drivers up to speed quicker. We're seeing by day 3 a pace in the 2014s that much higher with because of the driving aids, not only with the rev matching but also PPM. So it's that much better car, and it's helping make the drivers better, quicker, and which is great. You want to be comfortable, you want to get up to speed, you want to enjoy it, you want to be safe, but you also want to understand what the car's capabilities are. As I've said many times, the lateral capabilities and stopping capabilities of not only the 7th generation but the 6th generation. These are as good as race cars were 12, 15 years ago, and they're with the technology that we have access to. They're just tremendous cars. And again, what we're trying to do is provide you with a skill set that you can take no matter where you go, and be appreciative of not only the car, but respectful of how to approach a racetrack.